Hey guys, it's from experience. Today I want to talk about why I never tell a girl I miss her. And I'll be honest with you before I get into it. A few days ago, I sent a text to someone that was pretty close to doing exactly that. It said something like, "How have you been? I've been thinking about you." No response. Left on read. Now, we left on bad terms, so that part makes sense. I'm not sitting here devastated about it. But the point stands. The moment you reach out like that, you show your hand. And here's the thing about showing your hand too early. It shifts the entire dynamic of whatever you had going. Because up until that moment, she doesn't know exactly where you stand. She might have a feeling, she might be curious, she might be wondering if you still think about her. And that uncertainty, that not knowing, is working in your favor whether you realize it or not. The moment you tell her you miss her, or that you've been thinking about her, or that you wish things were different between you, all of that uncertainty disappears in one text. She now knows exactly where you are, and you have no idea where she is. And that imbalance is one of the worst positions you can put yourself in. Because now she holds all the cards. She can take her time deciding how to respond. She can choose how much of herself to give back. She can sit with that information and use it however she wants. And you're just sitting there, watching that delivered notification, waiting to find out if she feels the same way. Which is the most vulnerable position you can be in with someone who hasn't earned that vulnerability from you yet. And this is what I mean when I say it puts your eggs in her basket. You've invested emotionally before you know if she's even at the same level, before you know if she's thinking about you half as much as you're thinking about her. And if she's not, you now know that, and so does she. And that knowledge changes things between you. It can make you seem like you fell harder and faster, like you care more than she does, like whatever was there is suddenly uneven. And even if she does like you, something about knowing you miss her takes away the tension that was keeping things interesting. Because part of what makes someone attractive in the early stages of anything is the question of whether they're thinking about you. The moment you answer that question for her, she doesn't have to wonder anymore. And wondering is what keeps people engaged. I think about the times it's worked in my favor. Not saying anything. Just being present when we were together and completely unbothered when we weren't. Not reaching out to fill the silence. Not sending the text that says, "I've been thinking about you." Just letting the space sit. And that space does something. It makes her fill it with her own thoughts, her own wondering, her own version of what you might be thinking. And her version is almost always more compelling than anything you could say. Now, I'm not saying you should never be vulnerable with someone. I'm not saying you can't show someone you care, but timing matters more than most guys think. There's a version of "I miss you" that comes from a place of real security, where both people know where they stand, and saying it means something that lands the right way. And then there's the version where you're reaching out into the unknown, hoping she feels the same, handing her all the power before you have any sense of whether she deserves it yet. Those are two completely different things, and knowing the difference is something most guys won't figure out until they've already sent the text they shouldn't have. So instead of telling her, let her wonder. Let her be the one asking herself whether you think about her, whether you miss her, whether she's crossed your mind at all. Because that question, sitting unanswered somewhere in the back of her head, is worth so much more than any text you could send. And she'll respect you more for not sending it, even if she'll never know that's why. That is all for this one. If any of this resonated with you, drop a comment below. Subscribe for more from experience. Catch you in the next one.